You raise one finger now and I'll charge you with attempted escape. Now, come on.
All right, Hennessy, cool your heels in here.
You've got no right to throw me in this dump. I haven't done anything.
Really? Well, we'll let the governor decide that.
Well, I want to see the governor now.
You will. But I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry if I were you. Attempted escape. Well, it should be worth an extra 6 months. Looks like your little friends are going to have to carry on the revolution without you.
It's the incredible stupidity I cannot understand. What could she possibly hope to gain in broad daylight and in full view of a senior officer?
Yeah, beats me. She's a bit lacking in common sense.
Yes. Unfortunately, she's jeopardizing more than her own future. Under the circumstances, I don't think the women should be allowed to work at the centre tomorrow.
Well, that's a bit rough, isn't it? They didn't have anything to do with the escape attempt.
Mr. Fletcher, I cannot allow any suggestion that security is lax, especially with this new project.
Look, Smith & Co. went out of their way to make sure that they weren't involved. If they're punished for something they didn't do, it could stir up more trouble.
Perhaps. Come in. Mr. Fletcher, would you bring Hennessy to my office, please? The police will be here shortly to have a word with her.
Right.
And I'll think about the attendance centre and let you know.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You dealt with the situation very well.
Thank you. I was just doing my job.
Oh, no, it was more than that. You showed responsibility and initiative and averted what could have been a very dangerous situation.
Well, I think the sound of the alarm going off really got them flustered.
Oh, it was more than that. If you hadn't managed to get Hennessy away so quickly, somebody could have been injured. Yes.
Sergeant Williams, Mrs. Davidson?
Thank you. Sergeant Williams, this is Mrs. Power, the officer who was in charge when the attempt was made. Do you want to have a word with her now?
Well, I'd like to see Hennessy first.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Powell. You may return to your duties for the time being.
Of course, Mrs. Davidson.
Hennessy won't be long, but I'm afraid we can't expect too much cooperation.
Oh, if it hadn't been for me, old ticker, I could have been there in all that excitement.
Neil, it wasn't too good for anyone's old ticker, let me tell you.
No, all them bullets flying everywhere. Oh, it would have been worth it just to have seen that Andrea marched off into the pound. Wouldn't it, Jude?
I don't know. Wonder if it might have come off.
What do you mean?
Oh, well, if we hadn't have all hit the ground, you know, like the way we did.
Yeah?
Well, not that I reckon we should have helped the stupid bitch.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
But you reckon we did the right thing? I mean, we could have looked after ourselves better. Some of us could have made a run for it. You know, got over the fence.
Yeah, all over the fence together.
Screws couldn't have stopped us all at the same time.
Nah, just think of it. Sort of thing you only see in them war movies.
Okay, hold it, girls. Look, we all know that Andrea and her mates are a pack of raving idiots, but you put a gun in their hands and they're a pack of dangerous raving idiots. Where do you think those bullets would have gone? The screws wouldn't have had to stop us. The bullets would have done it for them.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
And furthermore, Andrea didn't ask us for our help. She didn't even tell us it was going to happen.
Yeah, she should have done that, especially as though we were going to be the meat and the sandwich.
Yeah, well, she didn't give a damn about us, so why should we worry about her?
Well, Hennessy, what is the explanation for this disgraceful affair?
I demand to know why I was thrown into solitary.
You're in no position to demand anything.
And why not?
Because of your part in the attempted escape.
Look, that had nothing to do with me. I've never seen those girls before in my life.
You expect us to believe that?
Look, I don't care what you believe.
That attitude will get you nowhere. Sergeant Williams wants to ask you a few questions. I suggest you help yourself by answering them honestly.
Pig.
That's enough of that, Hennessy.
I don't think you realize the seriousness of your position. You are in a great deal of trouble.
And why would that be? Look, that whole thing was a deliberate setup by the other women to discredit me.
You don't expect me to accept that explanation.
Oh, well, it was very well organised. Their leader yelled, sit, and they all sat. I was left standing high and dry wondering what the hell was happening.
I believe the women sat down to indicate their non-involvement in the situation.
That's what they wanted you to believe. And that's the conclusion that Mrs. Powell came to when she hauled me off.
Oh, this is getting us nowhere.
Look, I thought your law said innocent until proven guilty. Mrs. Powell had no right to drag me off like that. She had no proof that I had anything to do with it.
That is enough, Hennessy. I suggest you cooperate. It will only go against you if you don't.
Is that a threat?
Are you going to answer Sergeant Williams' questions or not?
Not until I've seen my solicitor, no.
Can you arrange that?
I suppose so.
Fine. There's no point in talking to her the way she is now.
And you can't throw me into solitary with no reason either.
I have no intention of doing that. However, this is not the end of the matter. There will be further inquiries. Mr. Fletcher, escort Hennessy back to her cell.
Come on, Hennessy.
And then, when they started shooting, I reckon we were goners.
No, I knew he wasn't. I lifted my head, see, and I saw them running off.
You? If I hadn't shouted at you, you would have ended up looking like a simp.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, not much.
Come on, Smith. The governor wants to see you straight away.
Oh, well. Sounds like she wants to hear our side of the story.
Sock it to her, love.
No way, I will.
Well, if that's the way they organise a revolution, I think I'll stick with being an oppressed underdog.
There's nothing wrong with a dog's life, providing you're top dog like me.
Yeah.
I thought you and I had a little chat.
So?
You're pretty dumb, aren't you? I mean, one minute you're talking to me about being on the women's side, and the next minute you're doing your damnedest to put them at risk.
Look, I didn't know anything about this morning.
If someone had got killed, you would have known plenty about this morning.
This place is suppressing my natural freedom. All my friends
Your
did...
friends, huh? I thought you knew who they were.
Oh, of course I knew, but I didn't know they were going to try and pull a stunt like that.
No, it would have been a great surprise.
Well, while I was trying my escape, your precious prison didn't exactly come out smelling roses, did it?
What the hell do you expect the screws to do? Open the bloody gates for you?
Well, I thought the prisoners might have helped.
Helped? Helped get killed, you mean?
Oh, come on, they just had to create a diversion. It wasn't difficult. But oh no, B. Smith has to deliberately block my escape.
B. Smith was looking after the other women.
Oh, B. Smith looks after herself.
Come off it, Andrea.
Look, you think about your rules. Golden rule number 1, don't lag, right? But if the top dog just happens to feel threatened by someone, then it's quite okay for her to suck up to the screws. And that's exactly what B. Smith did.
My main concern at the moment is the attendance centre. I'm not sure, after today's effort, that anyone should be allowed to go there tomorrow.
Oh, fair go, Mrs. Davidson. We put a lot of hard yakka into that place.
That may be so, but I cannot allow anyone to go there unless I'm absolutely sure they are trustworthy.
Well, you know what happened. We all hit the ground the moment the action started.
Yes, you did.
Well, you're not going to hang us for that, are you? I mean, not for stopping the escape.
As I was about to say, Smith, I do realise that without your cooperation, this afternoon could have ended quite differently. That is why I called you in here, to tell you so.
Yeah, well, I had to make sure none of the rest of the women were in the firing line, didn't I? Besides, no one pulls a dumb stunt like that around here and gets away with it.
It is not for you to decide what the women get away with, Smith. However, I'm glad you realised there was nothing to be gained from such rash actions and acted accordingly. I do appreciate it.
Okay, so we played by the rules. Therefore, we shouldn't lose our privileges. I mean, that sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yes, all right then. The work party goes ahead tomorrow at the attendance centre as planned.
I don't know what Jude sees in you. Dumb ignorant bitch.
Yeah, especially after today.
Hey, ladies!
Good news.
Yeah? Don't tell me they're going to get some decent tucker in this joint at last.
That wouldn't be good news. That'd be a bloody miracle.
Because of a certain event around here, Davo seemed to think the attendance centre project might have to be a no-no.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
All right, just keep your mouth shut. I'll do the talking.
Relax. I can tell you after I had a few words to say
Yes,
to her.
I'll bet you had a real pally chat.
And what is that supposed to mean?
I suppose your friend, Mrs. Davidson, congratulated you on all your work with the screws this afternoon.
I'd watch my big mouth if I were you.
You're despicable.
No one speaks to me like that.
I do. And it's time someone did. You stopped one of us from escaping today. I think that was a pretty bloody stupid thing to do.
I stopped one fool and her stupid playmates from exposing all of us to danger and mucking up our chances of getting to the attendance centre.
Not true. You let the screws take Andrea away. You let your bad feelings for one person stand in the way. You had a choice, you know that. Them or us. Only you chose them.
Like hell.
Yeah, you sucked up to the screws and you know it.